you know, and who are we in this moment? How do we meet it? And lo and behold, it looks like I've succeeded. Wonderful. How do we meet it? How do we meet? You know, and who are we in this moment? How do we meet it? It's working. And lo and behold, it looks like I've succeeded. Thank you, thank you. Right. How do we meet it? How do we meet it? Right, so I've gone out of YouTube and that's working. Okay, good. And I'm really, you know, I'm really honest with you, is that the only way that I could figure that out was from no mind. That is the honest truth, from no mind. The moment I was try to, I'm completely lost. And it's like that for me in every moment. So I'm going to just, I need to pin myself somehow for the recording. So I've actually succeeded in that, which is a bit of a miracle. Okay, so I'm going to ask all of you now, if you will bring the value to this meeting, to this offering, to get the most out of this meeting, it requires that you come all the way here. I'm going to turn my phone off and I'm asking you to do the same. That you are fully here in this meeting together as one. That you are not here and also doing other things and you know, like this world of distraction that we now live in, right? There's so much distraction, and really to get the most out of this, our time together, come all the way here. Yeah, come all the way here. So I'm going to dive into the topic of what is embodiment, you know? What does it really mean? And we can understand what that points to. Embodiment, integration, embodiment and integration of who we actually are and our understanding. And what does it really mean to be in service? So before we jump into that, I'm just going to ask you all to just come all the way here and take a moment to, let's just close the eyes for a moment, where all of the images on the screen disappear. And just noticing, how is this body right now? And however it is, having a yes. Seeing if you can bring a yes. Yes. To however this body-mind is right now. And this is what it is to embody this moment. Bring your yes. And noticing that when you bring your yes to however this body-mind is, just notice what happens in the body. And an even deeper yes is coming. Yes. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay, so thank you for showing up right now and your interest in this topic, in this subject. Yeah. Now more than ever in the state of the world, self-realization, whatever we want to call it, awakening of what we actually are as consciousness itself, realizing itself in a body-mind, in a human journey, is needed more than ever. More than ever, ever, ever. If we want to see change, we have to be the change. Yeah. And when we begin to understand, we begin to recognize that we are not this little person who's suffering. There may be suffering, there may be challenge. We took that on, we all took it on. But before we came into this life, we came from freedom. We came from freedom into the limitation. It's out of freedom that we've come into this and whatever particular journey that you're walking, it is exactly the one that is where you're going to live out and realize, and whatever you came here, the intention you came here for, exactly what you're living out is going to be the journey through which you most supports your intention in coming into this life. Yeah, so it may be challenging, it may be sometimes excruciating, it may be all kinds of whatever, it may be absolutely blissful, whatever it is. Coming to realize that you are consciousness itself, that you are the consciousness before the thought stream that tells its story of who you are. Coming to awaken as consciousness itself, realizing itself in this form. When this is, whatever stage that's at in the journey of waking up in this human life stream, journey, whatever it is, whatever your understanding is, the challenge is going to be how you embody that understanding, that recognition of what's being recognized, of what's being realized, of what's being tasted, how you embody that into the configuration of this thousands of, maybe lifetimes, who knows, of patterns, of conditions, of egoic structures, how you bring this understanding and this realizing into this configuration. And this is always, always now. It's always in your now moment, and it's going on and on and on. And that is kind of what, when we talk about deepening, because recognizing, the recognition of who you are is really what I call the beginning. You know, when the recognition happens of who you are, the mind stops and you absolutely see it, you taste it, you know it, you recognize, you know, this is really what is me. This is really, really, really what is me. No doubt about that. When this is recognized, it's the beginning. It's not the end. It's the beginning of walking into the form of you, into the forms of you. And you're going to be facing everything that you have tried to get away from, everything that has driven you in the first place to call for the return home. You're going to be facing all the mechanisms and all of the, for example, like self-honesty is a number one key. Self-honesty. So if in the middle of a story that repeats itself over and over again, a story that keeps on recreating the same circumstances again and again and again, and you've seen it before, you've seen it over there, and you've seen it over there. If that, you've seen it enough times to know that, oh, this is a pattern, right? And that's not really, I know that what I can see, I am not. If I can see it, I am not that. If I can see the screen in front of me, right now, the computer screen, it means I'm not that, because I'm the one who sees it. So when you, for example, see a pattern that is creating suffering, and you don't have the way to come out of it, it will get worse, it will get harder, it will get more difficult until you meet honesty in the midst of it. And with honesty, you bring your yes. It hurts, it's painful, and everything that the ego self wants to do is run away, to distract, to find ways to get away from not feeling whatever is so uncomfortable, is unwanted. So it will create a pattern of a way to find a way around it. But it just goes on avoiding and avoiding the very portal to where freedom is. And that is in your yes. It's in your stopping and coming to actually face, feel, and say, yes, okay, if this is what it is, I'm here to feel it. I don't want it. I don't want it one single bit, but okay, yes. Okay, yes. And this is, in a way, it ties into the old age message down the ages of surrender. That's where surrender happens. Because it's like in that moment when you go, okay, I don't want this, I can't stand it, I do not want it, I don't, in the face of that, who you really are is the only part of you, which is the real, that can say, okay, yes. No other part of you can. If the ego self starts saying, okay, yes, I will go towards this heartbreak, I will go towards this difficulty, I will go and feel it so that I can go through the portal and be totally free, it's not going to work, is it? Because you're not embodying who you are. So you get called again and again to the same until there is a surrender. On that level, it's just like a powerlessness. I can't, just keeps coming back. Like you just, yeah, there is a surrender on that level. And from who you actually are, there is a yes. Yes. I don't like it, I don't want it, but okay, okay, okay. And in that, there's a merging. There's a merging of who you actually are into the body-mind. And in that merging, there's an embodying of who you actually are, and something opens. And it actually changes the experience you're having. And of course, I mean, I've been watching this for years and years and years in all my retreats, in all my events. It's so guaranteed that the moment that I can guide someone into meeting directly, direct experience, to directly experience, to come into it. And of course, I am there meeting them eye to eye as that one, as the only one. And in that they come and everything disappears. And suddenly in a few minutes, they go, I don't know, it's already gone. It's already gone. It's just gone. And then expansion of consciousness opens. And then there's this expanded experience. And of course, the first thought, and the first thing the mind wants to do, and the first thing that the ego self wants to do, it goes, yeah, but how can I stay here? How can I keep this? And that's the very first moment of closing, contracting down again, wanting to control the future. Who you really are doesn't need to control the future, because for who you really are, there is only now, now, now. Even though we're not just, living in the moment like I did for, 40 years. But it's not just living in the moment without, like, the future is also here now. It's also here now. So when you change your now moment by the way you meet it, you also change your future. You change your future in the way you meet your now. You also change the past. There's not even a past. But it's all here. It's all here in this now that is out of time. So this moment right now, you know, is timeless. There is a number on the clock saying it's this time or it's that time, but you know it's right now. Yeah, we have to use time. We have to use the mind to say, this meeting's going to happen at 3:30. We need the mind. We need to agree on that, but we also know, if we are awake enough, we also know that it's an agreement that's kind of made up, because there's no, in fact, linear time. And here we are, meeting in timelessness. This is who you are. This is what you are. You are timeless consciousness. Even though this body has an age and it lives in time, it has a duration, it can't last forever, it's not eternal. It's a form. So the disidentification with this form, like you know that this form is changing, you know this form is aging, you know it will pass away, like everything in the world of form will pass away. Every thought, every feeling, every sensation, you know it's all going to pass away. But you are always, always now. You are always, always here. That's the truth of you. Right? So when, for example, in the mind, we start to worry about the future, we're entering the zone of time, and time is mind. But if we are able to shift to who and what we actually are and just meet this moment in all its rejection, in all its everything you don't want maybe, I'm just speaking to that right now, it doesn't mean it's the case for everyone here, or whoever's watching this. For as an example, if there is a worrying going on in the mind, and I don't want this and I don't want that, and you will never find your way out of that, other than thinking up ways to avoid and create more things that come out of more of the same, because you are moving from that energy, from that intention, from that identity. So when you stop, and you stop, and you stop, and no matter what is your now moment, if you don't like it, you bring your yes. You bring your yes not as a business deal, which only happens from the ego. You bring your yes, and that has to drop. It has to go in surrender mode. And you bring your yes, and there you merge who you really are, merges in your body-mind experience. You embody the consciousness that you are realizing. And this will be an ongoing process, because your body-mind is filled up with yesterday, and it operates on fear and control. Has to try to control because of fear of what it might have to experience. That whole thing keeps it alive. So to embodiment, what does it mean? It means that in every moment that the opportunity comes on your table, it's not a one and done thing. It's every moment that the opportunity comes on your table. In your world of experience. And you see, like, for example, there's some trigger going on, some emotional trigger, some talking to the challenging parts at the moment, right? Because I'm called to speak of that in this moment. I'm called because that is what is in the field right now. I am the field. You are the field. The field is made up of all that's within it right now, all that's having its attention in this place right now. I am the field, you are the field. So listening to the field drives what comes out. It never ever works for me, never has worked. I couldn't even do it. I couldn't even imagine what I'm going to come here and just sit there and start saying like a script or something. No, it's the field, right? And you are always, always interacting with the field. You are never alone. You are never separate. So it all just appears depending where you're coming from and what you're embodying. Integration. How do you integrate? You have maybe moments of expansion. How do you integrate that now into your little self that is so wired to fall asleep so quickly? Fall asleep as in go into a density of emotionality and ongoing story about itself. That habit is so ingrained, it's not you doing it, it's just an automation that's there in the system. How do you now integrate what you've expanded and had a taste? You've had a taste of an expanded awareness, and you recognize that this that is aware is what is actually looking through your eyes. It is aware and awake to itself right now. You recognize, yes, I can't deny it, yes. How do you now integrate that into your persona? Now, I do want to just touch on the idea that there is a person who falls away. Like, where does it fall? The persona is going to be here. I have a personality. I have a personality that just evolves. It evolves, but it has the same kind of flavors. You know, it's kind of flavored a certain way. It's really intense. It's really direct. It's quite strong. It's I have a personality flavor, right? Same like you. What fell away is the identification with that. So how to integrate what is realized into the persona, into this personality? This is evolution. It's an evolutionary process that's happening, not just it's experienced personally, but it's also not personal. It's happening. There's a lot of movement on a camera happening here, which is starting to, I might have to turn that camera off because it's just starting to create, okay, if you can come still, that's wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. So one movement moves all, it moves all. Right? I feel it, I feel all the movements in me. And so do you, whether you're aware of it or not. On some level you do. So it's an evolutionary process. It's humanity itself is evolving, even though it appears like it's going like to hell at the same time, right? The madness that is appearing on the screen of our collective is like a madness, while at the same time there is an evolutionary process happening, right? I don't know, but I don't sense that the whole of humans experience the evolution. So an amount of humans are consciously experiencing the evolutionary process. You see, your own evolution requires your consciousness to participate in choices that set you on a new trajectory. And those choices are going to appear in your life. You're going to call them, you're going to like attract them and call them into your experience. And then you're offered a seeming choice on the table. Which way will you go? Will you keep empowering this ego self, or will you choose a new way, the highway? Will you choose a way that you've never gone again, that requires, you've never gone before, that requires some dropping of that ego self? Because even if you woke up, those fragments are still active in your persona. So will you choose another way that requires utmost honesty? You cannot lie to yourself in any way, shape or form. Is there anywhere in your life that you're not completely honest with yourself? So this will be a question that is brought before you in different ways. So integration, where there's an ongoing update on the personality level. Updates. It's not like, I'm being updated. It's like this big drama of, ascension, There's not a big story around it, It's your direct experience, moment to moment, which is the living embodiment of the extraordinariness of an ordinary life in human form. You know it's temporary. You know this is all temporary. It's going to be gone in a minute, right? How will you use this opportunity in every moment? What does it mean to be in service? To be in service to the evolution of consciousness itself. In the first place, it begins in you. Every single time that you are faced with these, confronted with the need to die a bit more on the ego level and say yes more to who you actually are, who you really are, as one consciousness, the one consciousness looking through every pair of eyes. When you are called to die a little more and embody what you are in service to the evolution in your own experience and to the whole. So when it comes to working with others, like being in service to wanting to, a lot of people when they wake up and start realizing, wow, you know, there's another life to live in this crazy world. There's a higher way of living and being, embodying love and truth and this and that and that. And I just want to serve. I just have the feeling I want to serve. Yeah, that might naturally awaken in your heart. Like finally you have a reason for being. You have a reason to, you know, like for myself, the reason, the very arising of coming to speak this in the first place, right? It's just naturally coming like, wow, I have to, you know. And yeah, this is another area where absolute honesty is required in the very first place. You know, what are we in service to? In the beginning, what are we in service to? Are we in service to finally become worthy, finally become, like, get some kind of recognition for the outside and find some self-worth because now we are being of service to the other? This is, you know, it's one level. It's one level that happens. It's one level of that we will find in the world of the wounded healer. We will find that, right? And it can be hidden. It can be in the shadows. It can be that. And there's always going to be unconscious levels of in our consciousness. There's an unconsciousness that's always coming conscious. So yeah, we have to be really, really honest with ourselves in every moment. And the way, to the extent that we are honest with ourselves about where we're coming from, only to that degree can we be of service. Only to that degree. Only the way that we are willing to process within our own body-mind will we be able to offer that experience to the other, to be a space in which a meeting with the other can happen because you go there in yourself, because you've been there in yourself, you know the other, because there's no separation. So to be in service, it really begins what you're in service to within yourself. And when you're in service to true freedom and truth and ultimate freedom, and for the evolution of humanity to really spend the rest of your days for liberation in whatever shape, form that comes, then naturally overflowing from you is a space in which some humans may recognize, and be drawn towards. And when you begin to be a presence for the other, that this processing can happen in whatever service that may happen, may come through whatever way it comes. It may be just between friends, it may be as some facilitator or coach, or whatever way that comes. It will only go as far as you are clear in what you are in service to. If it's kind of like hidden under the thing that you are, because then you can do that and you can do that and you can get more, and then it's something for yourself, it will just only go to a certain possibility. But the cleaner it gets, and the more it gets as life itself in service to itself, consciousness evolving itself through the one, through your own being, you are an open channel for this to, and you just really are out of the way, then beings come together and are free. More and more freedom is happening, more and more free, more and more free, more and more free. And the more freedom there is, the more a true meeting there is between more and more beings, there is more light on this earth. There is more power. More power for more of this to happen, for more humans to get attracted towards. And if we are to see change happen on this crazy, crazy planet, we have to be the change within ourselves. It starts within ourselves. We are the one consciousness. In a moment, I'm going to open this up for possible interaction. No, I'm not going to go. It was a thought coming that I will start letting more people in, but it means I have to disturb the recording, so I'm not going to do that. So let's just take a moment. Let's just take a moment to just be in the energy of that. It's not in the words. That's what we've got. We've got words, right? The transmission is coming through the vehicle of words. That's what we've got to communicate in our time on this earth today. We have words to communicate back and forth, although the communication is happening, of course, before that, on many other levels. So before I invite anyone to raise their hand, if there is anything coming that you would like to explore or ask or anything, before that, just take a moment. Who are you right now? Okay, so when I invite anyone to raise their hand and interact with me, I'm going to ask all of you to be the space, that it doesn't send you off into da 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 da. Just see how it is to remain here. As the space in which this interaction unfolds. This is the way that I'm going to be working with people in the program that I've got coming up. Yeah. To really bring about more facilitators. Well, it doesn't even have to be called that, you know. I don't know what to call it. But more ways in which beings can, more opportunity in which beings can actually be the space for each other and therefore raise the consciousness of more and more humans who break free in this, I call it a space, in this field, in this. Yeah, I'm not doing anything right now to hold space. I'm being the space which holds it all, right? So there is a big difference in guiding or working with others or facilitating coaching. There is a big difference when we are coming from no separation. There's a big difference. What can happen in this vibrational field? There's a big difference than if I approach and come here like two different live streams and da 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 da, and it's going da 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 da. Yeah. If you hear me from the wide open, spacious awareness that is here, you will hear what I'm saying. If you try to think about it and work it out, it's not possible to understand. Yum, yum. So, what did I just do? Oh, yeah, okay. So, if there's anybody who would like to interact, ask anything, confirm anything, or interact anything that's come up while I've been speaking, and it's not, I'm not inviting to make something up, or just I'm opening the space for that. Hello, Paolo. Would you like to unmute? Yeah.
Ciao,
Ciao.
thank you so much for this sharing. It's um, touching me very deeply, and it is sort of paradoxical how things are very clear when you allow them to be in the field. And I'm inevitably watching the longing to really embody this in the single father life, where I'm often sleep deprived, and then there are some health issues in the process of being understood and different things to try for the body to have more energy. And then there is this paradox, but because there seems that in a way, when the body is so tired all the time, seems harder to remember the truth, to remember the self, to be aligned. And also at the same time, though, when it's spoken or when there is a remembering, it is already very clearly here.
Mm.
So there is this question rising with sleep deprivation or deep tiredness or feeling of exhaustion.
Yeah.
Basically, will the way to be to just be in that too and allow um, life to move you through that
So
with such a
let me ask you a question.
sure.
Do you have a yes within that experience, or do you have resistance?
Uh,
I
there
want
are
to
moments,
answer this. Yeah, go on. Yeah, go on. Answer. Go
yeah,
on.
there are coming. There are moments in which I fall in forgetfulness and I'm in a no, I'm in a resistance. And then because of the pain, there is the remembering. This is only going to be counterproductive if I resist it. And so I bring it through it and I give it the best yes I can, even if perhaps my son asking me for things and then my body's not responding quick enough and all of that. And I'm really determined to say yes.
Okay. Thank you. Right, thank you. So, you answered it right there. And the first thing is, how many mothers having babies and young children do you think have experienced this deep exhaustion, having like babies on their tits all through the night for sometimes a couple of years, few years, so you how many mothers do you think have gone through that, right? And that's a kind of a natural thing that so many mothers have naturally been expected to live through, right? So in the first place, just acknowledging that, like if you can, in the first place, get your lesson out of that, like really perceive, oh, all the mothers of the world who have been up through the night feeding babies with their tits being like taking their milk and they got no energy in the morning to da 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 da. How has that been to really enter that and come to know that, and out of that the birthing of compassion is born in you, and a certain kind of humility is born in you. And perhaps this is part of your process to come to really come to embody this kind of compassion, embody this kind of humility. That recognition is really like, whoa, recognizing that aspect of human reality, human life, that has gone down the ages over and over and over. Right, so that's one point. There's one point. Hang on. There's one point. Okay. And noticing the resistance to your experience. And I'm not saying the resistance to your experience is wrong, you know. I mean, I slept 4 hours last night, right? And I was going, what can I do? What can I do? You know, I'm not saying like there is never resistance to the experience. Of course it happens, but not resisting, like letting that natural thing be there. There is, you know, Paolo is resisting his experience, but you somewhere deeply in that, the moment of remembering to just see how it is, to enter it with a yes. Right? So, hang on, I got more coming here. So I find in my experience that whenever I'm taken to certain, and my path, my life stream has been a challenging trajectory. It has been, you know, I've lived through a lot of challenging within a dysfunctional family, blah, 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 blah. So, you know, I'm talking from experience. And still, when I'm taken to certain places, and I'm talking about any day, it could be yesterday, it could be tomorrow, it could be, I'm taken to certain places of humanity within my own body, to know certain places, to know what certain humans live, like the deep things that humans go through. When I'm taken there to feel into that bit of that field and to feel it and to know it, and that moves through me. I mean, that's happening at the moment with the whole Gaza thing, right? But when that comes through me, and that comes through in a moment of like shedding, I'm actually part of that field in that moment, and that is being met, truly met, without resistance, truly met and truly known, and out of that comes deeper compassion. And through the doorway of compassion comes deeper, like really penetrating the depth of human experience from a place of pure consciousness, which is free. And there's no separation. Yeah. So on a practical level, what I would say to you is, yeah, this is what you got right now. Your child is not always going to be that age. You will not always have that, but right now that's what you have. And if you can move through it as part of your journey to know those places more and more, and to find and develop ways that you help your body mind to get stronger and cope through it. As I said to you in the retreat on the intensive weekend, it's not away from, how can I find space away from, it's within it. How can you find pockets that you can take, even if it's 20 minutes, pockets where you can recharge and breath work, you know. You go and do a breath work session with yourself in 20 minutes and you remove the mind that is resisting the experience, and you open the breath and you get more, you know, these little things are where you're going to, I can tell you from my own experience, right? The more the challenging things have been, and I talk about in this moment, I remember being in jail with the most excruciating moments. That's not the only challenging moments I lived through, but within that situation, my soul level was drawing on whatever way that it could find to survive and regain. And out of that, certain things were developed in there that become part of who I am, you know, part of who I am in this body, mind, in this body life. You're being called deeper, Paolo. Hmm?
Yes, I really feel it.
Hmm.
And there is a sort of, well, by the way, it's really beautiful the way you just put it on that place that is free and pure. One meets fully the challenge of human beings, and you touching on a point that is already happening. There is incredible compassion in me in those moments when I think of people that are not going just through strong, long wave periods, but maybe they live like this or they have a chronic disease or something. It is incredible the level of courage and determination that one needs to go through life when the body is not giving you the energy you need. And so that compassion is already taking really deep place in me, and there is like no judgment anymore from from people who are not moving or operating properly in society. I understand that one sometimes doesn't have it and therefore can't, um, and there is a lot of dropping in expectation from friends or anything like that. So it is already very much taking place. And if we
Drink from the compassion that it's taking you to and the humility.
mm,
You know, drink from it and it will take you deeper and find ways, even if it's pockets of 20 minutes here and there, to smell the roses, to commune with nature, to realign with who you really are. You know, this is what it is to embody realization. It's in the midst of the human journey.
yes.
Yeah, it's not away from, it's not transcended. It's within, this is where integration is.
Then there is gratitude for the experience instead of it shouldn't be like this.
Exactly,
Mm,
exactly. You come to know like gratitude for the tiny, tiny things. Tiny, tiny things. You know, I mean, I'm thankful that in the worst time in my journey, for example, in jail, getting a tiny little square of margarine on a Friday, a square of margarine like that, which was the only kind of form of butter, but
mm,
feeling like, oh, there's going to be margarine, and I hate margarine, you know,
mm,
like the tiniest, tiniest little things that you become thankful for,
yes.
you know. There are people in extreme suffering and starvation, you know, to be the evolution of humanity. What we are living is a very privileged life right now, and through the doorway of how we meet it is how we evolve, and through our own evolution we lift the whole, we bring more light to the whole. So be thankful to your journey. Be thankful that you are not one of those starving.
Absolutely.
I don't even want to go there in this moment, you know, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
Like, yeah, yeah,
Mm,
yeah. And life will keep shedding anything that keeps us away from coming to these qualities of true compassion, which is our nature. Our nature is compassionate. Our true nature is compassionate. And how does that come into the human? Normally through suffering,
mm.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Mm, Thank you so much. There was something that came when you were talking about evolution. If it's okay to ask, when you were saying that the human being basically evolves, and I guess it's connected with, it depends on the doorway from which you meet the experiences. But in this evolution that you were mentioning, uh, it feels to me it's kind of more of an undoing of what we are not, more than evolving somewhere. Would that be a correct interpretation of what you said?
Who do you think is evolving?
Well, exactly, because I feel I'm disappearing more than. Um,
Yeah, but as you're disappearing to the identity,
mm,
Paolo is also evolving.
mm,
You know, there's no separation. It's who I am today is more evolved than it was 10 years ago, and
right.
it's not personal, it's collectively as we deepen and as we embody. The evolution of consciousness is happening through the way we meet life. There is an evolutionary process happening. It's not personal and it's personal. And like I said, when I started to, we're using words, and this can only really be heard beyond the words because it's in the paradox. You know, we
It's very
can't,
subtle.
we cannot fix it in words. It's not. It's,
Mhm.
it's okay. That's enough. I want to give space to
Thank you.
someone else. Okay.
Thank you
All right. Thank you. Yeah.
very much.
Yeah, so if anybody else would like to interact in any way, otherwise, if you would like me to speak about anything or you would like the speaking to happen, to speak from and to a certain aspect, you can send me a message. I'm not sure if the chat is open, but you can if you don't feel to raise a hand, I think. Okay, let me have a look on YouTube then for a second. Oh, but stay here, please stay. I mean, I don't mean stay on the call. You can go if you like, but if you're here, stay here. You know what I mean? If you're here, be here. That's what I mean. Otherwise, in all of your life, okay, Kula Jalini, I got you. In all of your life, if you are not where you are, you're not living. You're just an unfolding of an automated program, right? Oh my goodness. Just a second, one question. Is it true that the YouTube is not actually working? It's not working? No. What a nightmare. It's not working. Is that serious? And I thought I'd succeeded all along. Ah, okay. Well, just a second. There might be waiting to come in. So let me just see. Da 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 da. No, it's okay. All right. Okay, so whose hand was first? Is it Kula Jalini? Unmute. You have to go down to the little mic in the left-hand corner, on the bottom left-hand corner. Okay.
Sorry, I just wanted to say that people are putting up their hands because they don't realize about the raised hand gesture. So Melody had her hand up quite early on.
But I can't see it because I've pinned myself.
Right. And we can't enable, you've disenabled the chat as well. So we can't put anything in the chat.
Okay.
All right. Just to let you know, that's all I need to say. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. No, I didn't actually actively do that. It must be already in the settings. Okay. All right. So who was next? Judy? Okay, go ahead. You have to unmute.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Where I am. Anyway, thanks very much. I've followed you for years. I really appreciate you. I live on Vancouver Island in British Columbia, Canada. And excuse me, we have a lot of corruption going on throughout our country. Just was listening to, there's so much drug problem here and cartel problem, and Vancouver on the mainland is a port for cartel and drug, and it just goes on. And I get really stirred up with this. I've been doing on this path for a long, long time. Many experiences of truth.
Judy.
Yes, my dearest. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
Judy.
you.
You may not be aware of it, but it's all over the planet.
Hooray.
There is,
Yeah,
we are on the brink of collective madness. Now, I'm saying this not to, just like send you into whatever, but it's happening all over. It's happening. It's not just what's happening in Canada. It's happening all around, and this is like a time that we're living in right now. That it's all reached a peak. It's all reached a certain point where we are actually at the end of a civilization. And, what that means, we are at the end of a civilization. If we can open wider and see that it's happening in so many ways, in so many places, in so many while at the same moment there is an evolution of consciousness, there's a rising up of people waking the fuck up in the midst of it, because nothing on that level makes sense. It just doesn't make sense. All the government is now, the mainstream ordinary people are now becoming aware that all of the governments all over the world is a fucking mess. All of it. It's all crumbling. It's all falling down. What that means is what we have relied on. We have relied on all these systems. We have relied on these support things. They're not there anymore. So what are you going to do? You've got to rely on something else. There's only one thing you can truly, truly rely on, and you're being pointed back to that. But for the majority of humans that have relied on these systems, and they're going into the duality of right and wrong and good and bad and this and that and this is the collective madness I talk of, because going in that direction is not going to help. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help collectively. It's just not going to help. People will there'll be civil war, So the only reliable is that you turn back towards what is truly reliable, to your own consciousness, that you go inside, that you find a place of stillness, where the doorway to peace within yourself. You may see a rising up. There are many pockets all over the planet as well, where people are going more and more extremely into expanding consciousness, like wanting to know, what the fuck are we here for? What's it all about? Like wanting to get free of their false sense of self. It's becoming more extreme also. It's just everywhere. It's everywhere. People are starting all these ways to look for liberation. So this contrast is happening at the same time. And you say that for so many years you've been on this path, you've had experiences, that now is the time for the fruits of your journey to come into fruition. Right? So your attention going out there to all you're not going to be able to sort it out, and it's not going to help you. You need more and more and more stability in your own meditation practice, you could call it, whatever it is that brings you again and again to stillness, to come to know a place of peace within yourself, and start to rest there every single day. And when the panic and the fear is coming up in your body mind, to merge, to meet that from this place of stillness, in these places, to come into the true meeting, to embody what your deepest understanding is, to meet this human experience. This is your work now. You're not getting out of here alive. Nobody is. So our work is dedication of our own liberation on a personal and collective level, to embody what you realize.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I really appreciate that. Thanks.
Thank you.
Is this going to be recorded? And
it will be recorded and it will be posted on YouTube.
Beautiful, because I really want to hear that again. And hello to everybody. God bless everybody. I love you all. And thank you.
Bless your heart. Yeah.
You too.
Tisha, you can unmute.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you very much for today.
You're very welcome.
It's so easy to be in the group, or you facilitate it so much. And to shift, I have a question about shifting. I shift in all kinds of levels. Like if it's a big problem, even in the midst, shift. and that's my only exercise. Yeah, exercise. Yeah, I call it exercise with my ego. But to shift and it's about the answer to all my problems. First shift, at least shift. And
what does it mean for you to shift?
It's like the yes of today. That's a new one for me. To open up and say yes, and then it streams. I feel it go through my body and into the ground.
Right. This is really,
and around, or it moves around.
This is really like a meeting point, like so. A meeting point of your human level and your consciousness.
Yes.
Right in that yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Meeting point. Yeah.
And it that opens up and gets expansion and so. But daily I experience a lot of that is actually a huge gap. So I try to do it anyway, or just let go. Even that's a thought, a huge gap, and what's that? But is there any, can you talk about ways to shift? I mean, to close the gap.
I don't really know what you mean by gap, but
a gap between ego and.
Okay, so this is the key. Like what I said, like to bring your yes is where you close the gap. So in the ego self, there may be like this struggle going on and this resistance going on, and you are aware of it. And when you come right in the middle of it, and you're willing to experience this moment, You know,
to open up anyway. There's only one answer to do the shift. I expect, yeah. You understand?
I think what I'm not thinking, but what I hear you saying is like,
Yeah.
you want to snap out of that. Yeah? You want to snap out of that ball of egoic,
Yes.
you want to snap out and come here, right?
No, I snap out like this.
Or
It
however
goes.
you snap
Oh,
it.
yeah.
The point I'm making, you want to snap out of it, right? So
Yeah.
snap out of it, basically.
Yeah.
Snap out of
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
So what you can do, which will be very, very helpful, is incorporate breath work into your life.
Yes, I do that.
Breath
Yeah.
work, right? It will, as soon as your breath is held, it stops the thinking mind.
It's always accompanied by a huge breath.
Incorporate breath work.
yes.
As soon as you wake up in the morning, start with breath work, then do some
First.
exercises.
Yeah.
Create the space.
Yes.
Create the space. So
Take the
the way
time.
you're going to
Yeah.
start your morning
Yeah.
is going to be the track that you're on for the day. So
Yeah.
dedicate your morning to creating space.
Yeah.
Through breath work, through stretching, through walking, whatever it is, but get your body moving and breathing.
Yes.
Yeah. And this is where your consciousness and your body meet.
Yeah. Anytime. And it's always a thank you when it happens. But
Exactly.
to get there, you know,
commitment.
I just have to decide and now.
Discipline
Go. Yeah.
and commitment.
Yeah.
What do you really want? Clarify that and apply discipline and commitment. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sure that speaks to many.
Yeah.
Thank you. I hope you will commit to that, because I can't do that for you.
No, I normally I do it 100 times a day.
No.
But then even
First
that.
thing in the morning.
But first thing in the morning is the one that wakes me up, because I first start to think about problems and so.
No. Before it comes.
And I realize that
That's the gap.
Yeah.
That's the gap you need to create. That's the gap. Before that starts. That's where the gap starts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have the habit to go on and go for hours if I let myself go, because once it starts going, it goes. But I'd like to no, sorry, I shouldn't have done that. I would like to just say a few words about this program that I'm in the background creating, which I'm really excited about. It's really quite a process as I create it, and it's something that I've known for years that would be my next step, like to support and work with facilitators, coaches, teachers, whatever, to work from a place of no separation, whatever you want to call it, non-dual awareness, whatever you want to call it. But finally, that the energy of that is really coming through, and I'm creating a program in the background. It's I'm quite busy with that, actually, and I'm loving it as I start feeling it, because it starts downloading in me as it's being created. And it's a pilot program, which means that I will be inviting a select small amount of founders, they're founding members of this program, that by working with these founding members, the course will get created live. And through the interaction and the way that it moves, I will come to know exactly how to guide that and create that so it can go to more and more eventually. But what will happen is the founding members will be the first ones, so they'll get like a much lower price, and they will get lifetime participation, which means that the next time I run it, they're all in. And the next time I run it, they're all in. And it will just build and build and deepen and deepen and expand and expand. So it's really exciting for me because it's my next level, and I've called it Next Level. So in case you have any interest to know more of the details when they get released, because there's not going to be like a big launch and sales page or anything like that. I'm going to be first talking to the people who've signed up on the priority list to be the first to find out the details. And it's coming quite soon. So in case that does speak to you as a true movement, make sure you're on the priority list. And the link, I was going to say the link is in the description, but I'm not on YouTube, am I? So the link would have been in the email you received to sign up in this. So yeah, just the beautiful energy that is here right now. Let us close the eyes a moment and just take a moment to meet in and as this energy field. Where is the beginning of you, the end of you, and the beginning of this field? You easily see that there is no beginning and no end. That you are the consciousness field of pure being in which this body sits and is held. In truth. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your presence. And in this, we truly meet. This is the sanity this world needs. Thank you, thank you, thank you. See you soon. And don't forget, I do have a membership if you want to join and meet regularly every 2 weeks. Check it out, Living Awake. Ciao.